Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I really hope you've all had a beautiful week so far. Be sure to leave me a comment under this video and just check in with our beautiful collective here and let us know how you've been feeling this week, either individually or within your connection. If you are watching this reading live, you can also check in through the live chat box. But I will be live premiering this reading a bit spontaneously, so I know that some of you might be watching the re-recording. So to start today, I am going to shuffle the Energy Oracle Cards deck. As I'm shuffling here, be sure to like this video and also make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, because by liking and subscribing, you are virtually transmitting your energy to this collective, and I'm able to pick up on your energy more easily and read more specifically for you. Now, with that being said, please keep in mind that many of the messages here will be for other people, because I do channel many different hyper-specific messages for different people within the collective. This is intended to be a twin flame reading. However, I don't believe in coincidences. So if you find that some message here resonates with you, there could be something significant, some kind of piece of insight that you need to receive for any form of love connection or for your life generally. We get a lot of life-related messages as well. Also, I just want to take a moment and thank all of you beautiful souls who are here. I have so much love in my heart and soul for all of you, and I am really just so grateful for this space we're creating here on YouTube together. We really are co-creators here. I say it all the time, but if you're tuning into this channel, especially those of you who are here regularly and who comment, you aren't just a passive listener, but literally someone who is co-creating these messages, these readings, and all of the information that comes forth from this channel. So I have 3 cards pulled here. Interesting. So the first card to get us started here is Angel of Balance in the reverse position. I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook about this card. Being centered and self-honoring in your choices. In this position, the Angel of Balance comes with a loving warning that something may be seriously out of proportion in your life. But with the word life, I actually heard connection. So something being out of proportion within someone's connection, and then something coming in as a warning. That word loving warning really stood out to me. And what I felt is that this is somewhat of a past card speaking to, I'm hearing there was some kind of sign, signal, events, situation in the past that called to the attention of probably you. You were probably the one listening here. This was something brought to your attention about the connection that was really out of balance. I heard the ego may have even labeled this as wrong or off. Something isn't right. I'm feeling a lot of heart hurt associated with this situation that was out of balance. I hear someone saying, I wanted it to be right, but it wasn't. I also hear this kind of message of, I want you and I want this connection, but not in this way. It's almost as though it's like someone wanted this, but not the way that it was occurring or unfolding, potentially because of this painful situation or event or circumstance that came to light. With door to value in the upright position, I feel a kind of loneliness emanating from this card. I sense someone who is increasing their sense of value, increasing their sense of either self-worth, building their own inner confidence, or potentially even going out into the world, into the physical, and doing something to put action to their dreams or to create more value, more. I'm hearing something for some people financially. This could be related to a career or a business endeavor or an attempt to grow in one of these areas. I heard progressing alone. So I feel as though I'm getting a message from someone who it's like something was called to their attention within this connection that's felt out of proportion or unbalanced in some way. And this person, I feel, chose to separate from this person or situation in the physical and to, I hear, go at it alone or rise alone or something like that. There's something about going within the self or doing something in the world that increases value for them, but there's also this loneliness associated with it. And the third card to come out here is indecision in the upright position. This card shows someone who is at a signpost and they have the option of going two directions. And when I flipped over this card, I heard crossroads. I feel like this is bringing us up to speed to who we're tuning in with here, which may not be all of the collective. I will be channeling many different readings for different scenarios and situations. So be sure to only take this if it resonates with you and your situation. As our collective grows, I'm feeling the need to begin breaking down my channelings into more specific videos, if that makes sense. So that is probably the direction I'll be shifting into the future, just to be sure that those of you who resonate with different messages can receive whatever is connecting with you personally and leave whatever isn't meant for you or is meant for others. I'm really feeling like, again, this is bringing us up to speed with a situation. Someone who went through something in the past with their person where things were brought to light that called to their attention that something was wrong or out of balance or out of proportion within this connection. This person choosing to go their own way, in a sense, to build value within themselves, either materially or emotionally. And now this takes us up to speed with being at some kind of a crossroads. I heard either in life or in love or in this connection. It could go either way. But I am going to now take that card and reshuffle the deck and see where this card leads us. Someone also might be seeing the number 888. In the love word scramble, the word another came out. For those of you who are new, the love word scramble is a tool I use to channel specific words for different individuals. With this word another, I almost feel as though there could have been some kind of a third party involved in this situation in the past. This could have been part of what was brought to light. But alternatively, I also feel this could be speaking to the one who left to allow themselves to increase their value, their sense of worth. I feel as though this is them contemplating potentially connecting with another or wondering if they should pursue another person romantically speaking or emotionally speaking. This could be, I'm hearing there could be a divine feminine with another masculine energy who is, I'm hearing like on the periphery of her energy field. So this means it's like she's kind of aware of there being someone else that potentially wants to connect with her or that she could emotionally connect with. Besides this person that she, in the physical in some sense, may have this feeling as though she left behind. Although, of course, if this is a twin flame connection, there is no true leaving behind, moving on without the other, energetically speaking. I'm speaking from a very physical perspective here. Of course, contract in the reverse position. I knew this card was going to come out. I said that the person who felt as though they could have been at a crossroads involving another, with that word another coming out here, another person, that this could involve a karmic situation. And that is really being signified with this card here, the contract card. I typically associate with karmic contracts when we're speaking about twin flame connection especially. Karmic contracts being broken, breaking the cycle. I feel like someone has a choice here about perpetuating current cycles and patterns or breaking free of them within this connection. But I'm going to get more information on this. Strategy in the upright position. I'm hearing the message, be clear about what you want or figure out what you want. I feel as though someone is being given or has a choice here that involves finding clarity within this connection. I feel like this choice is almost what is going on with this choice here? I don't want to speak too far ahead. Angel of love in the upright position. Choosing unconditional love. There is some kind of cycle or pattern here with this contract card reversed for this person that involves unconditional love and is causing them to need to find clarity within themselves about what they want. It's almost as though I'm feeling someone who is, this is the reason I'm kind of stumbling over my words and pausing a lot, is because it's challenging to find the words to describe sometimes what I'm feeling energetically when it comes to twin flame connections. So bear with me here. But I'm feeling as though someone has some kind of a choice of, I heard a model of love, whether they're going to continue choosing to love with conditions and strings attached, or whether they are going to rise in true unconditional love. But the irony is here, this person believes that this choice is external. They believe that they're choosing, I'm hearing between, this definitely could be a divine feminine, feeling as though she's choosing between different masculine energies, one of whom may be her divine masculine, the other who may be some kind of a karmic situation or just another masculine energy. But I feel Spirit saying here, the confusion you're feeling is because you are externalizing a decision that has to be made within the self. The decision isn't to stay or go in the physical in regards to a certain connection, and it's not to choose one person or choose another person. It is to choose vibrations and frequencies of unconditional love. And when I say unconditional love, I don't mean for the other, but for yourself. To release the conditions you've been placing upon yourself, preventing you from fully accessing your own self-love. And from that space of truly unconditional self-love, you will receive the clarity that you are desiring, that you are longing for, that you are reaching for. Because I'm almost getting the feeling that this person, it's like they're feeling very confused and unclear, foggy at times in the physical world, thinking, what do I choose? Do I stay? Do I go? I'm just hearing like choices. All of these choices are a feeling of so many choices. I'm hearing overwhelm of choice. But I feel as though where Spirit is guiding this person is to realize that in order to find that clarity in the external, they have to realize that the true choice they need to make is the one within themselves. And I feel that through externalizing this choice, the ego has been fed in some way, because the ego likes being able to see everything on the external plane. It also likes finding any excuse to continue blocking us from accessing our own pure, unconditional self-love. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like through making this choice so confusing and so external, I feel this person is, or their ego is, allowing them to remain feeling stuck, allowing them to remain disconnected from their own true sense of self-love, of inner self-worth, through thinking that this decision is all about who am I choosing? What am I choosing? What if I make the wrong choice? I'm actually hearing Spirit say here, there is no wrong choice, but everything will flow naturally as you fully reconnect with inner love for the self. Now, this is really interesting because prior to this reading, I felt very strongly that some in the collective had this need for a little bit of a heart space opening. So maybe I can do a mini energetic heart space opening in the middle of this reading for those of you who are willing and open to receiving it. And all I'm going to say to assist you in opening your heart space at this time is that if there's anything in your life, in your past, in your energy that you've been holding on to that is preventing you from fully accessing your own self-love, that is allowing you to keep your heart closed out of fear, out of regrets or guilt or uncertainty, I invite you to release whatever that thing is and to give it up to the divine, to the universe, to allow your heart space to fully open the way it did when you were younger, before these things happened, or before you were taught how to close your heart space, how to close off yourself, how to shut off your own unconditional self-love. Give yourself permission here and now in this reading, in this time and space we're here together, to open your heart fully, to open that beautiful channel within yourself that gives and receives love, especially that receiving channel, because I'm feeling I'm connecting with many divine feminines here who are a bit out of balance when it comes to giving and receiving, especially through the heart space. I feel that I'm connecting with someone who gives and gives and gives, is very self-sacrificial. But when it comes to actually receiving love, whether it's their own self-love or receiving from others, they really close that channel tight because they are afraid of allowing that love into themselves, into their being. So I'm just inviting you now in this short little heart space opening moment here to really allow yourself to open more deeply, more profoundly to love, especially and most of all, the love that you can access for yourself, your own unconditional self-love that is available to you at every moment of every day. So the patience card also came out here, and the number 16 was on this card. That number might be significant for someone. I'm hearing be patient with yourself. Be patient with the unfolding of this connection and the unfolding of your life. It doesn't happen all at once. That's what I'm hearing. You're undoing not just years, as in a lifetime of years of hurt and pain, but you are breaking cycles of pain that are very ancient, especially in connection to interpersonal relationships. And of course, as I was speaking there, the victory card in the upright position, you will prevail over this situation, whatever it is, whether it's something in your life that's troubling you or whether it's specifically your connection. Again, remember, solidify to yourself the clarity you need to find if you're feeling confused or uncertain or anxious is your own reconnection to your own inner self-worth and self-love. You are stronger than your pain. You're stronger than your hurt. And you're also stronger than others have allowed you to believe. I'm going to reshuffle the cards here. I feel we've been speaking a lot to a divine feminine, so let's have a little bit more of a conversation with her there. I also saw the number 111 on the recording timer if that connects with someone. So what is going on with the Divine Feminine at this time? Door to personal healing and happiness in the upright position, but also the Deceit card in the upright position. What I'm getting from this Deceit card isn't so much as, it's not so much active lying or intentionally hiding, as much as it is, I feel there's a Divine Feminine who fears accepting herself fully. And because of this, what she presents to other people, I'm getting the word artificial. It's artificial in some sense. Like, what I'm really getting from this card is hiding. But not hiding in the sense of, it's not so much in a negative sense as much as in a way that dilutes her power. It's like hiding her true, authentic self out of fear of facing criticism or not being accepted or understood by others. I'm hearing don't shrink or mold yourself into something less than you are, because you are trying to appease those who are committed to misunderstanding you. With this Door to Personal Healing and Happiness card, I feel as though it's like beneath the surface, there are these really powerful shifts and changes that I feel have happened for the Divine Feminine, not just recently, but over the course of years. However, I'm seeing that recently, it's almost as though these changes that have been happening within are coming more above the earth. They are beginning to blossom, to become visible, to become tangible. Whereas I feel that before that point, for a long time, these changes were very much beneath the surface, very hidden, very within the self. And now they're coming to the surface where it's possible for other people to begin to see changes in this Divine Feminine or shifts. And then I feel with this Deceit card, this is almost the ego coming up here to say, what if you're becoming too much for other people? What if you are, I'm hearing, becoming too radical in what you think or how you feel or how you perceive this world? What if other people don't understand you or reject you? So this is the battle that this Divine Feminine needs to overcome. It is the inner fears, the ego fears coming up here to tell her, if you show who you truly are, if you allow these changes to continue and to become more and more visible, then somehow you are going to be rejected by others, or you are going to be too much for other people. Yeah, and with the Attachment card coming out here, these represent the, very bluntly, I'm hearing attachments to the opinions of other people. I'm visually seeing these like energetic cords, and it's almost like this Divine Feminine at times, because going back to that heart center imbalance of giving and receiving, she gives so much, or feels it is her responsibility to give so much of herself, that it's almost like she has created these energetic cords with certain people in her life. And in order to hang on to these connections, or hang on to how these people perceive her, the positive image these people have of her, she is allowing herself, I just keep seeing it's like someone who's tying themselves to a sinking ship. And it's like, metaphorically, she's allowing herself to drown, or less dramatically, just allowing her true self to be diluted, to be more palatable to other people who she feels a sense of obligation or connection to. Again, this probably won't resonate with everyone, but I feel that this is a major energetic wound for the Divine Feminine that's coming up on her journey to total self-love and self-acceptance. So I'm going to pull a card from the Starseed Oracle. What does this Divine Feminine need to know at this time? Loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction. Let God in. And with the word God, of course, you can apply that to whatever divine forces you connect with. God, the divine, the universe, the higher self. And also, lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. I feel this divine feminine really connecting with her ancient self, her soul self, the part of her that has always existed and will always exist, the higher self. I feel that even some divine feminines could be sensing this higher self, potentially through dreams. Emotions are running high, so this could be a really emotional time for her. I do want to read a little bit from this Lost Lands card. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Really beautiful message for a divine feminine there. It's interesting, as I'm sure you've noticed, most of these messages coming out are highly life-related for this divine feminine, very much related to the inner self, how others perceive her, and how she is presenting herself to others. And in the extended version of this reading, I will be getting more specifically into how this divine feminine could be feeling about her twin flame connection, her divine masculine, and more specific twin flame, or as we think of twin flame being love, relationship, connection related messages. So all of that will be in our beautiful Twin Flame Soul Tribe community on Patreon. The link to that extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box under this video if you feel guided to it. But for now, for the sake of time, because we are approaching 30 minutes already, I am going to turn over to the Divine Masculine and see if we can channel anything that's going on from the masculine. The word older and produce came out from the love word scramble, if that connects with someone. So what is going on for this Divine Masculine right now? Hostilities in the upright position. I'm feeling this card signifies some kind of inner conflict within this masculine. I hear fighting with the self, battling with the self. How is this divine masculine fighting himself? What's going on here? I'm getting a kind of chaotic energy from this card, fighting within the self. What is going on here? Attachment in the upright position. Let's actually read a little bit from this card from the guidebook. Perceived need and the choice to let go. Wow, the choice to let go. I feel that that was the message I was supposed to get from the guidebook, because what I'm really feeling is there's an inner conflict in regards to something this masculine needs to release in order to allow either his spiritual awakening or this connection to continue unfolding in the physical in a material way. And I feel as though this has been really difficult for him to release. I'm hearing because it's very deep-seated, not just within him, but within the collective. By healing this thing, by breaking this pattern or releasing this thing, although I'm hearing to the divine feminine, it might look very surface level, it might look simple. In the releasing of this thing, he's uprooting all of these really deep-seated collective masculine wounds. And in the process, really participating deeply in the healing of the collective masculine. But that is also why this is so challenging to release for him, why it seems to keep coming up again and again. I'm hearing that in this life as a soul, this masculine took on a lot. I'm hearing he took on this wound or pattern, manifested in his life in a very profound way, or in himself, in his mind, in a profound way, in order to call greater attention to it and be able to release it, to break the pattern, to break the cycle, to heal the collective wound. But I'm feeling that this fight has taken a lot out of him energetically. It's felt like a battle within the self. It's felt like a struggle. I'm feeling at times it's even felt completely exhausting. I'm getting that many masculines may have found themselves sleeping a lot more, resting a lot more recently, physically just feeling drained and not really knowing why. And this could be why, because a lot is being released from their cells, from their being energetically. And a lot of this is going to manifest as things that they're going to have to literally let go of, or perhaps things they've already had to let go of in their life. Now, I do want to channel some specifics on what these things could be. So what is it that this masculine needs to let go of? The word monkey came out and I heard monkey minds. The ego mind. So there could be something about the ego coming into play here for this masculine. I heard pride or arrogance. So there could be a pattern of pride coming up for the masculine. With 7th chakra reversed, I heard pride blocking intuitive guidance or intuition. So for a masculine I'm connecting with here, there could be times that his own pride generated from ego could prevent him from fully connecting with his intuition about a person or situation. I'm specifically hearing like this message of like there's a masculine who gets divinely guided or hears from his higher self, like through this 7th chakra, through this crown chakra, this intuition, that he should let something go or move on from a situation, or that he should do something. But it's almost like the pride blocks him from actually fully receiving that knowing and putting it into action. The pride somehow just like dismisses that thought. This could be in regards to his life or to this connection specifically. But that is something that he is releasing, that he is working through right now. And I feel that as this spiritual awakening progresses within him, that intuition, that knowing of what he should do or what he feels guided to do will become more and more strong and will come up harder and harder against that pride, against the pride that holds him back from actually taking action on that divine intuition. And both will continue like fighting against each other harder until finally the intuition, the crown chakra opening, that crown chakra energy overpowers that ego block, that pride. Or perhaps this has already happened for him or is already happening. The heart chakra card in the upright came out here as well. I heard pain from an open heart. I see the image of this door opening that has been locked. Wow, I'm feeling like emotional all of a sudden. A door that has been locked for like hundreds of years, and you open it up and inside it's all dusty and cobwebs and musty and dark, and it hasn't seen the light in what could be centuries. And I feel that metaphorically for this divine masculine, this door is like the door to his heart that the divine feminine is opening. And I actually feel that there's a kind of heart opening energetically for this masculine taking place through the unfolding of the twin flame connection in this lifetime that hasn't happened for him potentially for many, many, many lifetimes, or potentially ever. It's like this door within him has been so closed so tightly. And I feel him, or like the ego stepping into kind of like, as the door is already open, the ego stepping in to be like, wait, no, don't go in that door. Like, don't see what's behind that door. But the door is already open. And that's like the energy I'm getting from this situation. It's like this masculine's heart is open, but at times his fears stemming from the ego mind that has been dominant in all of us for usually like lifetimes and lifetimes, up until this culmination point of finally being ready to combat, to release that ego base, that primal programming in this lifetime. I feel this masculine, it's like the door is wide open to his heart, and the divine feminine knows that, but then it's like that ego mind keeps still trying to jump in and block the way in for the divine feminine, if that makes sense. So I feel that that's something, a kind of inner conflict being released here. It's like this true deep heart opening coming up against these futile attempts from the ego to still kind of hide things or block things off, but it doesn't really work because the door is already open. And I feel that that's the key point here. Now in the extended, I will be channeling more specifically how this dynamic I'm describing could be manifesting in the physical. So in people, in patterns, behavior patterns, thought patterns, situations that could be happening within this masculine or within this connection as a result of these energies we've described here, this wide open heart center coming up against still the presence of ego, and of course this crown chakra energy, this intuitive divine energy, this spiritual awakening continuing to evolve and get stronger within this masculine, and how that is all affecting the connection in the physical in real time. So again, the link to those extended messages is in the pinned comment and description box under this video if you would like to explore this a little bit deeper. But for now, I do just want to get into some love messages from the divine masculine. By the way, I have to tell you guys, in the love word scramble, the words open, slowly, and then open again came out. I don't think I've ever gotten the same word twice, which really tells me that there is this need to remember, especially if you are the divine feminine on the other side of this, that although the masculine may be moving slowly, there is this opening. I hear like, although the opening is slow, he is opening. And there's actually a reason that the opening happens so slowly in general for the masculine, which is because the divine masculine typically chooses to be more physically oriented, what we say as more matrix oriented, more fixated on the physical, the 3D. So it can take longer for him to fully process these more spiritual, energetic downloads and to fully receive them. And also the presence of ego can be more dominant at the same time. So what does this divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine? Strategy in the reverse position. For some reason, I'm hearing like, I want to have a plan. I want to move forward, but I don't know how. This card came out for the masculine in the last reading I did as well. The masculine energy traditionally is all about planning and logic. And I feel a masculine who it's like he's trying to apply this planning and logic mindset to a connection or a situation that completely defies all logic, all knowing, all planning. It's like I hear him saying like, I can't overlay my own plans onto this. I can't figure this out. I'm hearing something about puzzles. There might be a masculine who does crossword puzzles or is really into puzzles or something. But I'm picking up on someone who it's like they like to have things figured out. And there's something about you, divine feminine, or this connection that they've never quite been able to figure out. And I feel like although they have this intense love and feeling of connectedness there, there's also this fear because of the way in which they can't fully wrap their ego mind, their logical mind around you or this connection. Broken heart in the reverse position. I hear this masculine saying, I broke your heart, Divine Feminine, because mine was broken. But now, in the inverse of this, I'm healing my own heart so that I can participate in the healing of yours, meaning really using this whole my, yours, you, me language in twin flame connection often becomes really confusing because it's speaking so much from our human perspective, from the ego, right? Because truly, energetically beneath the surface, there's no you, me, my, yours. It's all us. It's a shared energy and a shared energetic experience. So it's like I'm hearing this masculine say that through his own heart healing, emotionally speaking, energetically speaking, he is opening himself up in the future to, and as I was about to say it, the action card came out, to be able to take action. Now, this is a theme running throughout our twin flame readings. Someone who is shifting, a masculine specifically, who is healing energetically, shifting energetically, and slow moving, or appears to be slow moving right now in the physical, because they have to create this healed, solid, energetic foundation in order to move forward into action. And finally, the victory card. Just like this card came out earlier for the Divine Feminine, and I said, she will prevail, she will be victorious. I hear this masculine saying, we will conquer over these trials, over these confusions that we're experiencing in the physical. So I want to close this initial YouTube reading before we head into the extended by just pulling one card from the Rumi Oracle deck. I love closing out the readings this way because the Rumi Oracle is just so full of beautiful, aligned messages, many of which actually apply very closely to twin flame connection as well. I do really highly recommend this guidebook and these Rumi Oracle cards. So what is one final message from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine here regarding the connection? Enter the garden of delights and the impossible made possible. I'm just going to close this reading with a little guidebook poem and message. Love brings the sea into boiling and turns the mountain into a pebble. Love creates infinite openings in the dark sky and shudders the earth with its magnitude. Rumi. We only limit what we believe to be possible by our lack of imagination. The divine has recourse to all that is and all that is yet to be. Is there any limit to the resources of the heavens? No. So then, why has not every impossible dream now been rendered possible, indeed manifest, in shining glory upon the earth? The human heart knows everything envisioned can manifest according to divine timing and grace, yet the mind does quake with fear, so much that it will not listen to the heart at times. The mind holds itself captive with dark fantasies of that profound rejection, and then avoids confronting it directly at all costs. It creates barriers instead, truly nothing more than lines in the sand, yet believed to be forts. But what stronghold can resist love? It is like water. It seeps into every available space and changes form to survive in every environmental condition. So now you are being guided by this loving power to drop the doubts, shed the incredulity, and open up the minds. When your heart is much more powerful than your mind, you won't unintentionally block the incredible grace of manifestation seeking to pour into your thirsty soul like the sweetest, purest water of blessing. I really hope that you received something valuable from this reading today. We are now going to be heading over to the extended version of this reading, where I will be channeling some answers to a few of the questions brought up in this first reading. So just to recap, we will be getting into how the Divine Feminine specifically feels about the twin flame connection at this time in the physical. We will also be channeling information about how the energetic shifts happening within the Divine Masculine could be affecting the physical situation, circumstances, or interactions happening in the twin flame connection in 3D right now. And also, I will be channeling more love-related messages and higher self messages from both the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine to one another. So all of that information is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. For those of you who are stopping off here on the reading, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day and weekend, and I will talk to you again in Monday's reading.